So if you decided to take on your own challenge of listening and acting out on the first and second film, that I'm suggesting that you can become your own Uchideshi program. So this is designed as if you were living with me, and every day we would get up at 7 in the morning, go into the dojo or outside, depending on the weather, and we would do the weapons first thing in the morning and the taijutsu at night. If you manage to buy some mats that you can do your chemis on, fantastic. Or if you have been able to find the time to practice it before class or even after class is okay. Personally, I think before class, because that's when you have to look after your body the most, and you're getting on well with doing those ukemis. Forward ukemis is what you're mainly doing, but backward ukemis are very important, but they do take time. As I've said before, you've got to work out where your head's going to go, and you don't want to dislocate anything or hurt yourself. So let's hope that's going okay. Then we moved on to the weapons, and you're trying to get 3 of each of the kensaburi out of the 5. Then do 5, see how you're getting on, how many you're getting to feel the same. Perhaps none of them feel the same. So what you do is you don't repeat it and do another 5 immediately when you've got to 5. I wouldn't say 5 if I meant 10. So you don't do 5 and quickly think, well, none of them felt the same, I'll just do them again. You do need to bring down like a shutter where you use a sort of a meditative state where you close your eyes, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. You do need to make a space between what you've just done. The information comes back to you in your mind. You decipher the information. If you're not happy with it, you need to make that break, because the next 5 must be a fresh 5. They mustn't just be a repetition of the 5 you've done, hoping that they'll be better. They won't. You have to have a clear... I remember Saito Sensei used to say, you can never repeat the one you've just had. One is one. So this is a great way to think about things. I'm then contradicting it by saying if you can get 3 first kensaburis or any kensaburi out of the 5 that you're going to do, you can get 3 that felt exactly identical, as if you're like a little robotic machine going tick, 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 tick. And if every part of it felt and exactly the same, then you're doing really well. It may take, as I've said before, months, years. If it happens in days, it means that perhaps you've been doing Aikido many years already. So this program that I'm going through is an Uchideshi program, and it's designed for anybody, Q grades, Dan grades, teachers, it doesn't matter. If you want to get fit, but you want to improve on your Aikido, then you need a fitness and a training regime. If you just do anything, then you're not really building a wall of solid mass and a way forward of systematically getting better. So we've done new chemis. We then, the second film, moved on to the Ken and Jo. So what I think I forgot to say in the Saburi one is you do 5, then pause, clear your mind, then perhaps 30 seconds to 1 minute. You need to pause, even just walk up and down the room or put the Ken down, the Jo down, and just break from that first group. if you're lucky enough to give 30 minutes a night to it, well, night, morning, doesn't matter when you do it, when you can spare the time. If you can give 30 minutes to it, make sure that even if you do 20, 30 sets of fives, you do have a break between each set of five. Do not do repetitions over and over again. You'll just get frustrated and it won't work. This is all about commitment to disciplining yourself. Disciplining yourself as a martial artist, not as a human being. We're getting fit as a human being because we need to get fit, because our body's made up of structure that needs to be worked. And aerobic workouts are great. At the same time as better breathing, better body functions. So we're doing this in the chemis especially, but for now with the saburis, you're trying to get accuracy. So this is the third film, and now I'm going to be talking about moving on. So with the ken, you do happogiri. Now happogiri, break it down again, do 2 cuts. So do 2 cuts, forwards, turn, back, forwards, turn, back, forwards, turn, back, forwards. You're trying to turn keep the same structure of 5. So you're going to cut forwards, backwards, and do this, repeating it up to the count of 5. Have you got there? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Out of the 5, you're looking for 3 of those cuts with the turning movement. So you're doing 2 cuts of repetitions of 5, and you're aiming still for the 3 out of those 2 cuts to feel the same smoothness, weight, balance, everything, feet turning, and everything. The whole mechanism must be right. It's no good saying, well, the cut felt good, but I felt my feet were a little bit sticky as I turned. The whole thing must be in unison. So you're looking for 3 of those double movements out of the 5. Once you've got that, then go on to 4 points. Again, you're going for 5 of the 4 movements, and you're trying to get to the same 3 of feeling the same. Now, because of the way our minds think, if you don't get it with the first 2 movements, you might think, I'll do 4 because perhaps that'll feel better than the 2, or I'll do 6 because that'll feel better than, and then no, I'll do the 8. Well, you can do 16 if you want. In the past, I've done 16. You just cut what I call the angles tighter and tighter and tighter. Once you've gone on to but by rushing it, just hoping that you're going to feel smoothness and continuity, is a falsehood. It's a false way of looking at it. I've seen so many students that I've helped over the years who try to think that the next step will be the magic one to give them the answer. It doesn't work. It's better to be haunted by, why can't I get this, and look to improve the 2 cuts either way, than it is to go on to the 4 cuts hoping that the 2 cuts will improve. And it doesn't matter what I say, I know already that you'll do this, because it's human nature to think that if I do more, I might get it. And I'm smiling to myself because I know this because I've done it myself. And that's why I can tell you clearly that it's hard to be disciplined enough to do this. So please try this with the Ken. Happogiri only cuts, they're first Suburi cuts. Once you've mastered the whole 8 directions in Happogiri, and you can get in each direction 3 feeling the same, then you've got multiples of 3, haven't you? Because on the first one forward, one back, you get 3, and then you're going to multiply that into 4 directional cuts. And once you get the first 3 feeling smooth, if they don't feel smooth, don't go on to the 4 movements, even if you've already started the 4 movements. It means they're not deep in your body, the first 2. It's hard for me to say this because I know you'll want to think, well, I've done the 3, I've got on the first 2 strikes, backwards and forwards. I've started the 4, I'm going to keep trying on the 4 and make the 4 movements somehow feel that I can, out of the 5 times I'm going to attempt it, I'm going to try and get to the 3 feeling smoother on the new 2 that I've added to it. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying and it's not confusing. So first 2 movements, forward and back. Second 2 movements, you go different. So first 2 movements is forward, turn, back. Next one is opposite. So it's like a cross. And then you halve it again and halve it again. And then you come back to square one. Again, a small breather, a small gap. So you're going to attempt this 5 times, and even if you're on the 6 movement angles, pause after you've done it 5 repetitions of those 6 angles. Have a breather. You might have to have a longer breathers while doing this. You might need to take more than 30 seconds or a minute. You might have to take even a few minutes breather because it will be quite demanding from you. And there's your challenge. With the Ken, you're going to do the Happogiri and try to get 3 out of the 5 repetitions. If there's any help you need, or none of this is quite understanding to your understanding, please mail me or get in touch with me somehow on Facebook or wherever, by email, for more explanations, and I'll gladly give you my time and see what we can do to help you improve your Aikido. Thank you.